Come on in, come on in. It is game time. We are here. It is Ole Miss week. We're primetime, fellas. Got Ole Miss in the 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central slots. How are we doing, Brian?
Brian, what's this? Are we a job interview? B will suffice.
Brian, what is this? No government names over the net, man.
I don't coach Auburn's football team, Mike. You don't have to be so so formal with the Brian. You know what I'm saying?
How we feeling tonight, B?
Man, I'm actually kind of confident. I don't know. Every time we have a guest on, right, and they talk about the other team, it makes me feel more confident. With the exception being the LSU week, where he was like, "Oh, well, we just got to figure out," and then they ended up like spiraling. So he was confident, and they lost. And Penn State, he was like, "I don't know about this and that," and they won. Georgia, Paul Maher was like, "I don't know, we actually could work on that, and we're not so sure about that," and they won. So this guy was on here, Neil McCready. Shout out to Neil McCready. He was like, "I'm worried about the injuries, and we got enough injuries on the offensive line at the skill positions to be a little worried." I'm like, wait a minute now I'm excited. And then every game day picker picked Ole Miss.
Every last one.
And that made me really excited.
They did that. They did that against Arkansas. They did that against Arkansas.
They did. So what they're playing the perception of the teams up until a certain point in the season. Because honestly, Ole Miss didn't look great against LSU last week. So I think in their head, Arkansas was beat up, or Ole Miss is coming off a long stretch. It was a tough win here and there, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. I think Ole Miss is susceptible. And the question really is, who are we and who are we going to be tonight? I have confidence, not in any particular player, but in the coaches. With the progress that we've made week to week, I am projecting forward that progress from last week to this week. Even if it's a static movement, if we play like we played last week in this game, we win it. So that's what I'm expecting.
All right. Listen, before I ask you, Caesar, let's get to some super chats. Dorian Hurd says, War Eagle fellas, rumor is we get to see some very missed face back on the field tonight. I think he's talking about the face mask.
Miss faces back.
Miss faces back on the field tonight. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yes, Owen Papo is out there warming up, I heard. So that's going to be a welcome sight. TD Moultrie. We had a TD Moultrie sighting as well too. So looking forward to seeing TD in there. Listen, we need all hands on deck to chase Matt Corral around tonight. So I'm happy about that one. Yeah, sure. Cam Bam says currently at the game sitting in row 38. It's going to be a good one. I certainly hope so, sir.
Hope so too.
Listen, so it's Saturday, so elephant in the room. There were a lot of rumors all week about possible people not playing in this one. And we got Ike at the game. He's at the game right now. He's not going to join us for the live, but we'll see him at the halftime. He did not see Smoke Monday come out to warm up. So we'll keep an eye on that one. But as of right now,
he said he came out later.
It was
way after the fact.
Okay, yeah. All right.
So he came out 5:15. Right. He said there's Smoke dressed out and doing drills. So
okay, cool. So Smoke is on the field, but there are two other faces that weren't starters that we haven't seen out there either. So we'll continue to update as we see what happens there. Caesar, what's your feeling about this one? What's
cautiously optimistic. I feel one of the things that I've been impressed, man, this year has been how prepared we have been overall as a team in comparison to years past. We have not looked perfect in all aspects of the game, but we at least look like we know what we're doing, or there is some type of a plan or hint of a plan at times. And so with us coming off of the bye week, I think it was very important we got that win on the road against Arkansas when we did, because we go into the bye week with confidence. And I'm looking to see us look a little bit sharper coming into this game. I think it'll be real disappointing coming out of the bye week that we look sloppy and there's penalties. Like that's not a good sign to me. So to B's point, I feel confident in this staff to have these guys prepared. And I think it's easy to do that when you have a top 10 opponent coming into your house at night, loud fans. I think that's a good sign for us. I'm looking forward to seeing, man, like our running game really get established again. I really want to see us do that. I think that's very important. I like the fact that teams have given Bo Nix a lot of opportunities to make some plays downfield in terms of the passing game. That could still be there, but I would feel really confident if we're seeing Tank, Hunter getting like 5-6 yards whenever they touch the ball. Like if that's happening, I'm feeling really good about what we're going to do. I'm confident in Harsin and Bobo to actually take advantage of what Ole Miss likes to do defensively. They like to play a lot of DBs with their alignment. Who's to say what they do? Arkansas did something different against us with a 4-down lineman. So I don't know if Ole Miss tries that same thing, but I'm looking for us to really attack Ole Miss defensively and take advantage of some things that we did against Arkansas. So I feel good. The storyline here is our defense. Are we going to limit them on the ground? And to what degree? Because they have literally what we found out was a 4-headed monster on offense when you add Corral into the mix. So they got to limit somebody. All of them can't get off in the game and we win. So as much as Ole Miss likes to run the football, I would like to see to what degree we limit them defensively.
I would like to see our defense demonstrate some discipline and hold them. So you're right too. Yeah, I mean they can't get off. They can't get off on the ground. Jazzy Joe says, War Eagle, y'all. Okay, so we win. I'll super chat double the total score from both teams.
What? So here's for an 80 to 72 game then. All right, let's go.
That's about 300.
So
thank you, Jazzy Joe. He does this every home game. He does this.
We appreciate that too.
Appreciate that, man.
We appreciate
the super chats. Kind of going down here. Yes, Daryl Moultrie is out there. We've seen him warming up, so hopefully we see him out on the field making an impact today. The Big Blue says that Burks and Malcolm Johnson they have not seen. So I'll get an update on Malcolm shortly and see. Again, Papo is on the field.
I'm hearing some people reporting that Malcolm is definitely out. Or he's not dressed. I would say
that might be injury related. So we'll find out what's going on there shortly. So this is gonna be an interesting one. I'm 50-50 on this game. I was close to picking us to lose this one. I know a lot of people are talking about the defense, but at the end of the day, this might be about how many points we can score. I don't think we can score less than 30 and win this.
Agreed.
I just don't think we can score less than 30 and win this. Against Arkansas, offensively, we turned in 31 points, which would have been good enough to win by 8?
Right.
So I think it's going to be a similar type game for Auburn today. We just got to put points on the board. I don't believe that our defense is in a position to hold teams under bend but don't break means you got to score more than 21 at the very least. But I would like to see us get to 30 again in SEC play here this weekend. So we are about 20 minutes from game time right now. So I just want to take a quick break to hear a word from our game day sponsor.
All right, business owners, high-income professionals, listen up. Have you ever considered that by funding a 401k or IRA, you are potentially creating a massive tax burden when you retire? Contrary to what you hear from traditional advisors and accountants, 401k or IRA do not save on taxes. It postpones the tax and tax calculation. Wealthy people don't have access to some special tax code. They use financial products, parts of the tax code that are available to everyone, including you and strategy. Would you like to learn how to take advantage of the tax code? All right, well, check this out. Our guy, Ethan Daw, the owner of Innovative Financial Solutions, has clients throughout the USA and is a nationally recognized expert in the veterinary community. You know how we love to save puppies. So contact Ethan at 251-243-6038 or email him, ethan@ethandaw.com. Ethan Daw is your alternative to traditional financial planning. Tell him the War Report sent you.
Shout out to Innovative Financial Solutions for being a sponsor of the War Report and our game day experience. That's Ethan Dahl. Contact him for your tax needs, especially if you work in the veterinary industry. He specializes in that. They're doing some great work in that area, fellas. So I want to talk a little bit about the run game that's been a little missing the last few weeks.
Before we get to that, can I address this real quick?
Yeah,
Big
sure.
Blue. Big Blue was like, any word on Ole Miss injuries? He's talking about the fact that they've been down some receivers, which is why I've been kind of down on their passing attack. That the word is that Jonathan Mingo has been warming up, but he also warmed up against LSU and didn't play. So I don't know how much stock you can put in that. We'll know as we get closer to game time on that. So back to you, Mike.
Yeah, I don't trust anything Lane says about any of his receivers or quarterback when it comes to injuries. So I'll just believe it when I see it on the field. Run the game. So we're hoping tonight is the night that we can reestablish the run. Yeah. Do we expect, Caesar, I'll start with you, Ole Miss to sell out completely to stop the run tonight?
Yes. I mean, it just makes sense to sell out to stop the run because we know who've been the biggest threats of our offense, right? It's been Tank, it's been Hunter. Who's been in the bigger highlight reels? It's been those two guys. So starting off in the beginning of the season, I mean, it's been like our guys was getting 100 carry or 100 yards each game until we got into like stiff competition. And so the tape is out in terms of what you want to take away. And if I'm Ole Miss's defensive coordinator, I know what happens when you give Tank and Hunter an opportunity, right? There's been throws available to Bo, and credit to Bo for having a great game against Arkansas. But we've said it before, having a good game against Arkansas doesn't mean teams are going to automatically respect what you do in the passing game.
Right.
And so I want to see if you can do it again. Right. I may actually show you some different looks. I may try to confuse you in the secondary. Arkansas didn't do a whole lot of that. Bo's reads were really fairly simple in the Arkansas game, and he was very decisive. What happens if you get him to thinking? I don't know if Ole Miss goes out and tries to do that, but I think if anything, you play to take away what Auburn does comfortably, and that's run the football. Auburn is getting to a point where they're starting to make teams pay, but the key word there is starting to. Right. So you're banking on Auburn beating themselves. So the issue is, do we beat ourselves on offense in the passing game? Because the opportunities will be there. I do hope that we are able to have some success on the ground because it is going to be beneficial, especially late in the game. If we're up, it's going to be very important for us to kind of grind out the defense and win the time of possession against and keep that offense off the field.
Brian, chances that Ole Miss sells out against the run.
Don't call me Brian anymore. My government is not for these streets.
B Will
like that. Thank
B
you.
Diddy. Busy.
Just not Brian.
What's
some 1980s?
What are the chances that Ole Miss sells out against the run tonight? I mean, it was Arkansas enough to make them play Bo Nix honest tonight?
No, and just like I've heard people who have doubts about whether Bo can reproduce his play from Arkansas to tonight, and I do think that's fair because you've got way more evidence that he is shaky, mediocre, or bad, depending on what game you would be referencing, than he is good or has played great. He's played great in maybe a couple of series throughout his career. I don't think we have an entirely great game. Arkansas was the best game I've ever seen Bo Nix play. It is also the most recent data we have on Bo Nix's quarterback play. So I see why some people would think, yeah, I understand why Bo Nix can do that again because I just saw him do it. And Arkansas aren't bums. It's not like we were playing Vanderbilt, Missouri. So I think he can do that again. I also understand the other side. Like, listen, I've seen him look bad way longer than I've seen him look good. So I am going to assume, and I think what coaches are going to do are say, okay, we saw this. We played the run. Arkansas played the run. And finally, this guy beat us. You beat a team passing the ball. The receivers helped a lot by catching the ball. But those two were finally on the same page, and the run didn't really win them that game. It was the passing game that won them that game. Now do it again. That's all they're going to say every time. Yeah, but Arkansas had a couple busts. Do that again because now we got something for you on the back end. We're going to give you a look that lets you think you can pass this, but you really can't because we're going to be waiting on you. We're going to be baiting you because we saw that you're learning. I would test Bo Nix's throwing, and because I think at this point in his career, he should be farther along as a mental player of the game than he is, because I don't think he really got QB coaching until this season. So I would fully expect him to be able to be baited into bad throws. If there is a defense even kind of good, they don't even have to be great. Like, what if they don't have a pass rush? You just need a secondary that knows how to disguise looks, that can play zone effectively, and has a couple guys who can play man, because there's no AJ Green or, I'm trying to think of a guy who is just a single matchup problem all by himself. There have been a few. Devontae Smith. We don't have that guy on this team. So there's not one guy who scares the hell out of me if I'm a defensive coordinator. I just have to generally provide a look that makes you guess. If I do that, I think you'll mess up. And if they do that and he doesn't mess up, now I'm convinced that it's a new game for Bo. But if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm halting the run with everything I got, and I'm going to say, hey, man, show me. Do it again.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, the tape's out on Jarquez Hunter. He is no longer a secret.
Right.
When he comes in the game, teams are definitely going to respect that. So I, too, expect them to just try to stop it. Hopefully they can, connect on a few passes, manage it like they did during Arkansas. I don't think it's in Auburn's favor for this to turn into a track meet. So while we do need to score more than 30 points, we need to make sure if this is a 50 to if both teams are over 40 points, I don't particularly like our chances in that. So I hope that we can keep this, in the 30 to 40 point range, hopefully hold them to less than 30 points and force Corral into some mistakes. Yeah. Take advantage of it. He's not a mistake-free quarterback. He'll definitely throw some balls right at you. We've had a lot of almost interceptions this year. It's time to start coming up with those. Yeah, this is a great time to start coming up with those against a top 10 team at home.
I think also too, man, what I've been pleased with defensively is our ability to bring pressure. That was a concern earlier in the season, especially on the road against Penn State, when we were like, yo, where's the pass rush? So as the season has gone on, I was impressed with how we were able to bring pressure on KJ Jefferson against Arkansas.
Yeah.
And word on the curb is Corral is, of course, Corral has looked pretty decent despite what Lane has said about him. But it's interesting to see on a questionable ankle how he's able to escape our pass rush. So I'm looking for our guys to be disciplined in their passing lane or pass rush lanes. Containing him, not allowing him to escape and really beat us. So that's something that's really important in this game on obvious passing situations. And I'm looking to see how we play on all 4 downs because their punter's probably not getting much action tonight.
Yeah, I want to ask y'all a question about the run. Do we have some super chats we need to get?
No. Go ahead. No, wait, I got one.
Okay.
T Park, appreciate you. Wardam Eagle, let's effing go Braves.
You know what? I saw a meme on social media that was like the little handshake, the strong arm. It was like Alabama fans, Auburn fans, Georgia fans. Like that's the thing that brings everybody comes together behind the Braves. Yep. It's just like the region, like that's the team. That was pretty cool. But I don't like rooting for Georgia fans or Alabama fans, so whatever. If the running, when it comes to the running game, what would y'all like to see? So if teams are determined to step up and say 8 in the box, no run, do you prefer us to find and engineer it? Is it more impressive for either of you for the coaching staff to say we have to make something against an 8-man box and actually do it? Or is it more impressive for you to say we're going to rely on Bo and he's going to get it done? Because it seems like they're giving the coaches that choice. Force the run and make something of it. So that means you need to be breaking off 4 yards, 5 yards a carry, or do it with your QB, which he may be shaky. So what do you want to see, and which is more impressive to you?
I just want to see them take what the defense is giving us and execute. Yeah. So if the pass is what they're giving, execute the crap out of it until they have to start playing it, and then you run the ball on them, right? Or vice versa. So it's that simple for me, man. Take what the defense gives you, execute at a high level, make the easy throws, and just force them to play you honest.
And if they're doing that, I want to see I mean, that means they're looking for the run. That means play action is going to become very important. I mean, again, some of the big plays we got against Arkansas were off play action. So you're gonna have to use play action to your advantage. If they're already playing the box, they're showing you their hand. They're showing you what they're trying to do. So give them a look that looks like run and take the top off of them. Take what they're giving you. So I think it's as simple as that. And once they realize, you know what, we're trying to win this game, maybe we shouldn't do this. Then that creates some running lanes for your guys to get those 5-6 yards of carry.
Yeah. Big Blue says if Corral hits greater than 80% with 0 INTs, do we win?
No.
I'm checking my notes here, and I'm feeling like hell no. Not a chance.
No. I mean, has he been 80% in some of these?
Nah, he hasn't been 80%.
No, he been 80%.
Listen, you're talking about, because that used to be the thing in the past. Like, we would hear about this QB has been 50% all year, and if somehow, some way, he figures it out against our defense, right? I'm not expecting that. I'm curious to see how mobile he is. I'm pretty sure he's still dangerous, but not the same guy who lit up Tennessee, perhaps. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think, Mike, you had a stat about how he's looked under pressure.
Yeah, so 38%.
Yeah, so he hasn't been great under pressure. So again, if we get them into the key is limiting their running game, because Lane wants to run the ball. That has supplemented his passing game, and in fact has taken a lot of pressure off of Corral. So if you're able to limit their running game and then put the pressure on Corral to deliver the passing game, now your pass rush comes into question. Even though we're concerned about how we look on the back end, what has helped our secondary out at times is the fact that we've been able to get pressure on the QB. And if we're able to do that tonight, raucous crowd at home, I like how this game sets up for us.
Yeah, listen, on the season, he has 32 unscheduled QB runs, 32 unscheduled scrambles. So keeping him in the pocket, man, and his NFL rating is over 100 in almost on 3 out of 4 categories. So we're definitely going to have to contain him.
Sure.
And, a running quarterback makes you play 11 on 11, and that's a losing proposition for the defense every single time. So, you don't want them to be able to, you got to take that away from him. I think having Papo back, just being able to run around and run after him.
So is he the guy? Huge. He's a guy who you expect to be that guy who keeps an eye on Corral?
Yeah, him and Moultrie.
I would want that to be Jacoby, honestly, because I think he probably predicts and reads body movement a little better than Owen does. I want Owen out there. You want the strength and speed that he has. I want him out there. But if I got to depend on somebody to read and react better, I think that's Jacoby.
Is Smoke playing majority of this game in the box, y'all think?
I don't know.
No.
I guess we'll see.
Question. Listen,
I guess we'll see.
We saw some unique looks with him, but interesting.
Jazzy Joe says, yes, go Braves. How awesome is it that the Braves go to the World Series this year? You know what? It is kind of awesome. I grew up in that area, and we were all kind of Braves fans by default.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Still Alabama without the professional sports scene, so we just kind of adopted the Braves. I never adopted the Falcons, though. I could not do it. In my heart, I could not adopt the Falcons.
Why? Was there somebody else you love better? Do you have a favorite NFL team that's not the Falcons?
it just wasn't regional for me when it came to football. It was there's Auburn, and then there are players that I like that play for other teams, but I bucked against the Falcons trend. So we're about 5 minutes before the start of game time here. So we kind of do this on the on the Wednesday show, but now that we've had a few more days to digest, I want to ask each one of you, what's the one thing you want to see from Auburn tonight? Be well.
First, let me shout out my boy D. Darren, what's up, man?
Hey,
appreciate you coming and watching us. Always appreciate it. I've been going back and forth whether I want to see us be contained in the run to open up the passing game, and Bo actually delivers. To be honest with you, I guess this is my 2000 and my Tuberville era coming through. I kind of want to see us just blow people off the ball and run down people's throats. Like, I want to see Tank break off 15-yard runs where he's carrying people and they tackling them, and he gets up and flexes, and the other team's got their hands on his like, man, I don't know. Like, I like that. Like, to see the soul leave defenders over the course of the game, it does something for me, man. And I haven't seen that a lot. I would love to see that. It's so wonderful, man. But I don't think I'm going to see that. So what I would really like to see, honestly, I would like to see a shootout. And it's not because I want to see our defense fail. That's not what I want to see. If we're in a situation where we absolutely have to score points and we do it to win, I think that says more about the offense than it does about a game where the offense has a comfortable lead because the defense scored you some points. Like, yeah, y'all didn't have to score that last touchdown in Arkansas, but you did, and that absolutely iced the game. What about this game? What if we're down 5 with 8 minutes left in the game? You have to score a touchdown, and you do it then. That's maturity. That's living up to that's stepping up to the moment. And I honestly would like that type of pressure. I would like them to do that.
Jesse Jones saying P. Willis trying to break me.
Listen, man. Don't you want to know you can count on them though to do that?
Yeah, hope yesterday was payday. Caesar, what's one thing you want to see from Auburn tonight?
I want to see us be disciplined on the defensive side of the football. I'm hoping that the game plan is to not do a lot of substituting, because that's what Ole Miss wants to take advantage of. Let's be clear. Ole Miss wants to use tempo and try to wear us down, catch us out of position, and hit us with some big plays. And so what needs to happen on our side of the ball is, of course, we need to, understand the calls, get them in fast, understand what the offense is doing, be in position, and execute. Stop them from trying to wear us down. Yeah. Shut down their offense. Don't get them in any type of rhythm. And to me, the story is going to be our defense versus their offense. If it's a shootout, I don't like our chances at all. I don't like our chances. I really don't.
I understand.
I really don't. And so I want to see us play with some discipline on the defensive side of the ball and look competent against what Ole Miss is trying to do. Simple as that.
Okay. Well, I'm with you. I'm with you on all that. I'm with you on the discipline. I'm with B on his points as well, too. I just want to see us look prepared for this game. This is a big game for Brian Harsin and his staff in their first year. You got a top 10 team at home. He preached about how they were going to defend their house and they were going to make it a tough prospect for anyone to come into Jordan Hare, come out with a win. Now I want to see us play like it. Yeah. So if that is the mantra that you're installing, I would like to see the team carry that attitude tonight and just, play like their hair's on fire, man. Play like it's their Super Bowl, like it's their SEC championship, because you get these opportunities in the SEC every other week. Yeah. And now look where they're at. They find themselves in a position to be in the conversation come Iron Bowl time about the SEC West crown. Nobody was thinking about that to start the season, but they played well enough and they've managed it well enough that, listen, I don't know how excited I am about possibly facing Georgia again in the SEC championship game.
Yeah, but let me talk about that right now.
Yeah, but regardless, for Brian Harsin in year one, having a shot at the SEC West exceeds all expectations. I think that's going to sell well to recruits. He's got a real chance to make a statement tonight. We cannot come out and lay an egg. Yeah. So win or lose, they just got to look prepared, man. And I want to see the guys fight. I'll be keeping an eye on a couple of closing notes. I'll be keeping an eye on left tackle to see whether Troxel or Killian starts.
I think Troxel may be starting from what some early reports are saying. But yeah, we'll keep an eye out for sure.
And then elephant in the room. We got orange face masks tonight, guys.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Right. We got orange face masks tonight. Dorian Hurd says if they don't hurry and get Clemson off the TV. Agreed.
Nothing to see there.
Ain't nobody
Florida State lost to this Clemson team. If you're not gonna beat, Lord,
oh my God,
dude, they're bad.
This is your year. This is everybody's year to get in their licks in the ACC against Clemson. They done embarrassed y'all for the last few seasons. Finally, you got a chance to get it in. You can't beat this Clemson team.
When was the last time Florida State and Clemson met and neither of them were ranked?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because usually one of those teams have been ranked like the past several.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Florida
They're
State been
bad.
unranked for a while. they've been bad for a minute. Listen, if you're watching this and you're wondering why you can't chat, it's because you're not an insider. Become an insider so you can get access. We're going to be back at halftime, the three of us and Ike, because he is live at the game this week, covering for us, giving us real-time intel. Guys, until halftime, we're signing off. War Eagle.
Go get them, War Eagle.